Hey guys, what's up? It's Jules here for WhatCulture.com. Still in Africa, I think, but luckily I found a studio and filming equipment to shoot things, but don't worry about that. And I'm here with another episode of the most insane things happening in wrestling this week. The show that does exactly what it says on the tin in the most annoying way possible. You're welcome. Now, before we begin, as per usual, there is a load of stuff that I want to cover, but I do want to just give a massive shout out to a few very special people. Aurelius, Shifty Whiskey, and everyone else who joined us on the Evolve pay-per-view, because seriously, you made it one of the most enjoyable things I've worked in a long time. Now with that in mind, let's crack on and hit that intro. So, let's get this out of the way. Crown Jewel is going ahead, and by the time that the lovely Phil's African editing counterpart puts this up, it might even be going on at this very moment. Now, as I said before, you should check out Adam Cleary's amazing piece on Saudi shadiness for the full details if you so care, but what I'm interested in is the sheer size of the balls on Daniel Bryan and, to a slightly lesser extent, John Cena. Though neither performer has stated their reasons, both Cena and Bryan have refused to work the show and have been replaced on the card. However, while Cena might have dropped out due to speculative pressure by Hollywood, seeing as he's very much in the public eye, Daniel Bryan hasn't been quiet on things like his friend Sami Zayn not being able to go to the country and the gay stoning that goes on right there. As such, he's decided not to appear at the event. Now here's the interesting thing. Cena probably won't face any knockback in ring stature, seeing as he's the WWE's PR icon. However, Bryan might have given up his chance of ever being a long-term WWE champion, as let's be realistic, the WWE signed a 10-year deal with the country, and if he's boycotting them, it's likely to factor into any championship aspirations. And after taking a clean submission loss to AJ Styles this week on SmackDown, he's been written out of the picture to be replaced by Samoa Joseph, which will likely be a great match, but it kind of stinks of a snubbing for Bryan's political leanings, right? However, let it be said loudly that for choosing to stand up for what you believe in, even if that means possibly never being WWE champion for a long stint, if at all, then fair to you, D-Bry, as that takes some serious balls. Also, side note, it is absolutely bollock-bashing crazy that Hulk Hogan is going to be there. Mr. America ain't got such moral quandaries, brother. Seeing as it's Halloween, we're going to delve into, I'm not going to do that again, into some sad belly telly and talk about Baron Corbin's new show, Baron Corbin's Haunted World. My God, I live for shows like this because the premise is as ridiculous as it sounds. Man Mountain Corbin goes to locations around the US and acts all tough and then gets the willies put up him like your dad down at the Dude Ranch. First off, the only thing that's actually truly scary is the editing, because looks like pus and off-center logo, yes. But honestly, it's hilarious to hear Corbin talk about how in this one lighthouse, there's potentially the following ghosts to find. A lighthouse keeper cursed to walk the grounds forever. A woman who has to live forever as a spirit again in the lighthouse. And 2 children that apparently died in an accident. And Titus Worldwide! Although that's actually more of just a dead gimmick than a dead person. Honestly, it sounds like a full house, right? But I tore the absolute roof off watching Baron drop a deep 6 in his trousers. The cheap use of sound effects to scare the audience was a bit much, but honestly, this is the one type of show that I actually really like. Plus, it will now forever give me the image of Corbin jumping to his feet and whispering, "The chair is vibrating." However, I would argue that this probably wasn't actually a ghost and more Steph pulling her puppet strings and whispering in his ear, and I was a bit gutted that Kurt Angle didn't come out dressed as a ghost to throw him off the top and then say, "I'm still on holiday," but still, hilarious, and you should check it out. Ooh. Right, I have to say this clearly. I had a lot of love for Stephanie McMahon this week, I know, because she finally did the one thing that I've been groaning about for ages that she should just do. She simply stopped and let the talents be talents. She didn't join the commentary desk. She didn't interrupt the Rousey match to insert herself into a WrestleMania main event. No, all she did was stand at the top of the ramp at the end and put over the Mae Young Classic winner Toni Storm. It was understated, it was minimal, and pretty goddamn classy from the boss's daughter. Then she went on TV and told the world that she wants Serena Williams to come and wrestle. I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what? You want a certified tennis player to do, an all-round tennis player to come and drop the racket and partake in a rumble? there are so many reasons why this statement is just insane. First, she's got zero wrestling experience, and second, I think she might be busy, actually playing tennis still. I mean, Ronda is the exception that proves the rule. She was an MMA fighter, so she had the understandings of ring work, and she has worked so hard to prove herself. However, every other time you get a celebrity in the ring, they often suck, and they don't even sell properly. Now, I'm not harshing too much on Steph, because this is actually just a dream pick, and she's not seriously entertaining this idea. But I can definitely say that I, nor probably Serena Williams, saw that coming.
And now welcome to the Philosophical Corner.
Oh, yeah. I'm still in Africa, so no Phil. Moving on? Right, so remember last week that I was popping hard about Dean Ambrose's heel turn and said that while it was upsetting and insensitive, that it wasn't offensive for Dean to turn on the same night as Roman revealed to the world that he was battling leukemia. Right, we'll take all that goodwill and praise and smear some WWE bullshit on it, and that's what we're looking at this week. Stinky. My issue with this isn't the turn, because the angle was probably signed off by Roman. My problem is that this is something that we were all worried about from the start, is that there might be a spat of Roman exploitation that's going to seep into the product. Using death, illness and tragedy is not uncommon in the WWE, but neither is the massive backlash it gets from fans and the public. And this week, Baron Corbin came out and expressed that he wished Roman would never come back to Raw, and that we just needed to get over it. This obviously did not go down well, and not in the "oh, you dastardly heel" kind of way. It was just cheap heat for the sake of cheap heat. If you want a direct comparison, then think of it like this. Dean didn't use Roman's leukemia as a catalyst for his turn. He just did it on the same night as the announcement. Here, though, Corbin directly uses the scenario as a means of generating hate. Both are disgusting, but when you compare the two, only one of them is actually okay. But we're going to close out the show and talk about some more spooky stuff, as this week on NXT and SmackDown there were some absolute howlers and so much love for Halloween shown in the best possible way. At a recent NXT house show, EC3 dressed up like Batman with Drake Maverick in tow as Robin, because he's a puny sidekick full-time anyway, so this actually made sense. Otis Dozovic actually came up dressed like Mandy Rose. Interesting, Matt Riddle dressed up as Chicken Riddle, and then goddamn Cassius Ohno came as a 15-foot-tall dinosaur. It was absolutely outstanding. And over on SmackDown, the New Day cosplayed as the Brood. It didn't really go over as well with the crowd. Might have been too young to remember this, but it made my Titans Tower swell with blood that I don't want Gangrel to drain. Anyway, it's lovely to see the wrestlers embrace this creativity in their costumes. Although my worry is now that Vince might have actually decided to watch NXT for the first time and now probably thinks that these are actually their gimmicks and will put them onto the main roster as Cassiusaur or Drake Mava Robin. It's a joke, but it's a bit worrying though, isn't it? It is a bit worrying. Anyway, all of these weebs with their weenie costume teenies? Are you having a giraffe? Been walking for ages. How bloody big is Africa? It doesn't help that everywhere I look I see that bloody betrayer Jim Jameson. His face on that rock. That tree. The sun. Ah! God. Even that guy over there kind of looks like Jim. Wait a minute. What? Jim Jameson.
Ooh, farts.
Yeah, I've got a bone to pick with you.
I knew I shouldn't have gone on holiday at the same place I sent the people I betray.
Yes, it's almost incredibly stupid. Oh well, time to die. Just like the Attitude Era, that is a lot of viscera. Well, that's the end of Jim Jameson. He's dead, don't worry. He won't be. And luckily, he had the comments from last week's episode. Very, very fortuitous. And a first-class ticket back to WhatCulture, so we can end this whole Africa section. Anyway, this one here is from Rebecca Mahon, who says, "What up, WhatCulture?" And then a little, well, back to you, man. Nariko Hikurashi? Is it insane that no one's seen Sanity? Yes, it is, but also Nikki Cross is probably very grateful she didn't get called up, if we're being honest. And Lone Star Badger says, miss school to watch Jules. I won't be held responsible for you failing, so go to school, young man, or girl, or in between, whatever you want to be, because grades are important. You need to go to university so you can get an English master's degree and then come and piss around as a 31-year-old making wrestling videos in a giraffe suit. Anyway, as always, I've been Jules. Massive thank you to no one, especially not Phil Chambers, who possibly edits this, and Jim Jameson, who's dead on the floor, is dead. He's out now. And Michael Sidgwick, who helps write these articles. Big love to you, my man. And to you at home, thank you so much for watching. As always, I've been Jules. You can follow me at RetroJ with a 0. You've been awesome, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye. Also, big announcement next week, so tune in.